Welcome back to Railgun. Okay, so we're gonna start off by talking with everybody. It's 3 people. Let's talk to them. Then depending on their quest, we will decide what to do next. I have some ideas, but yeah, let's see how it goes.
Hey, good. I wanted to ask you something. My mother and I have a weekly dinner thing. I was gonna meet her in Ravane. Wanna come? Fresh food. And I wanted to know you're good to work with.
Sure.
Okay, so I don't have a choice. There is a quest, so I always have a choice. I can just not do it. Now we go for Emmerich.
Hi, Emmerich. You've got a guest.
Ah, Rook. You remember the Hand of Glory?
Hard to forget. Figure out what those Venatori who broke into the necropolis were doing with it.
The Hand is how they broke in. The simpler undead are blind to its bearer when its tapers are lit. Sadly, only a death mage could have provided them with this forbidden necromancy.
If they're helping the Venatori, that has to stop.
Agreed. I've made some inquiries. This man is one of the Death Mage's victims. If he knows where this rogue necromancer is hiding, my corpse whispering will give us the answer.
You can't just get what you need from, I don't know, marks on his body?
How he died isn't the question. It's who held the knife. I'll not allow more victims like this.
Okay, do all the corpse stuff.
I must warn you, it will be harder to coax answers from this poor man than from the dead I spoke to in the necropolis. Let flame rekindle your sight. Let breath and light rise again. Who did this to you?
Eyes hidden, dust and cold.
Give us a name.
They come for this one. The spirits shriek. They come.
A name?
Blackthorn.
Return to your rest.
That name sounds like a lead.
Blackthorn Manor is an abandoned country house outside Navarra City. Our victim mentioned spirits. If they've also fallen prey to forbidden magic, they'll need our help as well. Let's depart for Blackthorn when you're ready. I'd like to speak to the necromancer behind all this.
I remember this quest. This is gonna take a while. Tash one is shorter, but
I'm sure you knew some of the warden's lost.
okay. So the next person is Harding.
You're still working.
Just finishing some things up. You know you're being creepy, right? Why are you watching me?
Because you haven't been sleeping, and I wanted to figure out why.
Oh, right. I have dreams now. When I go to sleep, I mean.
I thought dwarves didn't dream.
We're not supposed to. I didn't before. It's unnerving. It's like my mind's telling a story to itself and is really bad at it.
Accurate.
I know exactly what you mean. That's typical of dreams.
What about being scared? Is that typical too?
That's a nightmare.
Usually I'm being chased or hunted. There's something that glows red just out of my sight, and I know it's gonna get me, but I don't know how I know.
Okay.
And so you're here, thumbing through ledgers and unsure if you want to go to bed.
Yeah, pretty much. But I already feel better, having talked about it. And now, I'm gonna get some sleep, and hope the dreams are safe.
Good luck.
Okay. Okay. So right now we have a few options. I think since we are in Lighthouse, I'm thinking maybe we should start going through the statues. I believe I got all 5. Let me check. Yeah, I think I got all 5. Alright, let's do that.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanurists seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you, I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanurists and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solas love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Maybe. Moving on.
Whether they were doing it or not, Solas cared about her. That's what matters.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
Yeah, tell us.
We're deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made us something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The Blight's one of the only things that really scares Solas. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously, too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solas says. Then, what? It's too clean.
What do you mean?
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solas wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice.
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Ah.
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
And that explains it.
So there's the shame Solas wanted to erase. He blames himself for Mythal's murder.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell him, but he waited too long. And then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
And I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
We have? I'll give a bit of my own thoughts and points after we review through all four. All five, I mean.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
2, 4, 6, 7.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
I understand Solas' fears.
Davrin and I have fought the Blight for years. It's terrifying. Watching the gods poison his world, his people, I understand why Solas would do anything to stop it.
I know, Rook. I'm not denying that. I wish there'd been a better way. That's all.
So does he. This isn't a memory he's proud of.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solas trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... The Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
Yeah.
Lace, I don't think you'll ever fully know whether the Chant of Light is literally true or not. What matters is that in its better moments, the Chantry encourages people to be kind and help each other.
Agree.
What do we tell the Chantry about this? Do we tell them about this?
People are already questioning because of Elganon and Gillenane. It hasn't stopped them believing.
I guess people need that comfort, even if some parts of it aren't totally true.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The Elven Gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah.
Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solas. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What? This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
This is... I don't even know what this is, and I'm not even an elf. I can't imagine what you and Davrin must be feeling.
It's fine.
We're spirits. What does this even mean? Could I accidentally banish myself?
To be clear, this memory only shows that the first elves originated from spirits. Balara, you and Davrin are no more spirits than anyone else conceived naturally.
Conceived naturally? Guess I'll go ask my mother.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
I don't think people will care right now. We've got evil gods trying to destroy the world.
Evil, elven, blighted gods. Don't forget.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one would believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solas himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solas didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solas was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
They are the Titans. They started the war.
You think the ground shaking was the Titans?
It makes sense, doesn't it? Something was hurting them, taking their blood.
So they struck back, like we'd swat a stinging bug.
The first memory we saw with Elganon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the Elves.
And we just saw how it started.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solas regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried. You said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solas made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
I wonder he feels guilty.
No mystery why he wants to forget this.
As a mage, and apparently a scholar, Solas doubtless regrets destroying the minds of the Titans.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solas regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
If the Blight is the Titan's dreams, can we, I don't know, heal it? Bring it back from all that anger?
I'm afraid I have no idea. In theory, it would be possible to restore dreams to the Titans.
You can't set it free before it's healed. You'd have blighted Titans laying waste to the entire world.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgarnon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solas to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god. The strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solas killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solas woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around, and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
He loved and limber.
Every big mistake Solas made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault, and hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
Agreed?
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very
What
nature
Balara
is
said
tied
is
to
important.
it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Will be revealed later.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solas thinks he knows what's best
That's
for
coming
everyone.
from someone who got
Anything
angry
he
earlier.
does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
Solas has caused a lot of damage, but he's not like Elgernon, trying to wreck the world to rule it. He's trying to repair the damage he caused, and he knows he's made mistakes. There might be hope for him.
You don't think he'll turn on us?
Oh, he will.
Oh, no, he's totally going to turn on us. I mean, after that.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost. How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
So I think this is the encounter with Mythal. Okay, let me check something. Okay, so let's do a quick summary there. So, there were spirits. Thedas, the Fate and Thedas were binded together. There was no veil, no separation. But the spirits decided to take human form, or physical form rather, and it turned out to be elves. But to have that form, they need power, and the power came from lyrium, which is Titan's blood. In doing so, they started waging war with the Titans. And to end the war, Solas crafted a dagger to sever the dreams of the Titan. So this is where the red lyrium come in, a manifestation of the blight, anger, hate from the Titan itself. And I somehow that thing gave way to a blight. That part they didn't seem to explain very clearly. and there was this unruled case, so there was a weapon which is blighted, likely red lyrium. So one of the elves gods, I'm not sure, Andril, wore it. Mythal managed to defeat her, took the armor and sealed it. However, the Evenuris wanted to experiment on it because it would give them more power. Because the war is over, nothing better to do now to solidify their position as gods. And that's when Solas disagreed, Mythal went, Mythal got killed, and then the rebellion with Solas started. Okay, this part of the story, I would say someone who played the initial 3 Dragon Age, I'm all for it. It's a very good storytelling there. Okay, so we should have a quest about talking to Mythal. Is it a main quest? Oh. Okay, so 5 to 40, I think I'm not ready. Maybe I should wait it out. Okay. 40. Okay. So I'm actually thinking of defeating the champion. Okay, I can talk to her, I think. Okay, let's go to the crossroad. We'll do this, then we'll do this. I don't think I want to face Mythal yet because there's a 40 marker there. I'm still a few levels away. Again, I know I can defeat it even though I'm a few levels down, but the fight is just going to be terribly bad. But if I remember right for Mythal, there is a way to avoid combat. But yeah, I'll need to check it offline, but for now I will just keep this. So let's do this. 30 and 35. Okay, let's track. We will be talking to Morrigan as well. Okay, anybody? Nope. Alright, let's proceed. This part of the storytelling I'm okay with. I just didn't like the snide remarks from Tash. Just very childish. So in Harding. Travel to the crossroads. Okay, I don't want to. I hope it doesn't trigger that quest, so I'm gonna save first. Worst case, I can reload back. Because I cannot remember if I'm forced to proceed with the Mythal quest. Which is over there.
Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Alluvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Alluvians in general, yes, but not the Dread Wolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solas and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solas spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solas's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dread Wolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solas. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You...
As you say.
Okay, so that means during Inquisition, right? In my playthrough, I actually chose myself to absorb Mythal. But obviously, for Veilguard, the canon is that because there was no option during the creation, and they didn't import our choices. So in Veilguard, the canon is Morrigan absorbed Mythal.
So you're the next host of Mythal?
Believe it or not, as you choose.
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillename can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
I don't think I'd recover from that.
Neither did I, at the start. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me. But I must accept them of my own accord.
No, that's not how it turned out.
The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
So at this part, I need to interject. They totally change everything. Because in the first game, we had a choice whether to kill Flameth or not. Regardless of that choice, in Dragon Age 2, Flameth is around, transferred onto the Dalish, something, I don't know, I can't remember the details. You can watch my playthrough for that. In the third, only towards the end, there was a pool where I think there was the essence of Mythal, and it's either the Inquisitor drank it or we let Morrigan drank it. In my playthrough, the Inquisitor drank it. So it seemed like all of this was inconsequential. the developers of Veilguard decided, nah, let's just make our own story. That this is one thing very demeaning because whatever the player chose before is no longer relevant. You just steered away from it totally.
You would have met Solas in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solas a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillinan or Elganon? Or Solas?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillinan, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solas?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right.
So at least this answer one question towards the end of Inquisition. Why did Solas kill Mythal? So now we understand why. To get the power so that he can undo his mistakes, quotes. Alright, let's move on.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes. The Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solas?
What do you?
Every decision he made, Solas thought he could save people. Stop things from getting worse. Now his only way forward is a plan so terrible his last friends had to stop it.
An unfortunate belief that all paths are closed but those one has already taken.
There might have been a better choice.
'Tis not malice which made Solas your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solas was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Maybe this can end okay.
Maybe there's a way we all get what we want.
Do you truly believe such a thing?
Well, maybe at least what we deserve.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solas recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
There are two Mythals.
Another fragment of Mythal, in addition to the one inside you.
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until I survived the encounter.
You know Solas, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Algernon and Gellanane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solas is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Algernon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
This would make sense because in Dragon Age Origin, although she has, a different purpose for us, she did came to save the main character and Alistair. Yeah.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solas, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
Okay.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
Okay. I think this is a bad idea. I think this is a terrible idea. Maybe it's too early for me to do it now. Wait, is this? Okay. Let's give it a shot.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail, or be sundered completely.
Getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was.
Just making sure there's nothing around here. There's someone standing there. Wait, there's a chest. Okay, let's save again so that I don't have to go through. There we go.
That has to be her.
How should we do this, Rook? Do you think she'll talk to us?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. We made ourselves bodies to be like humans, but I never expected to see humans scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillinane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elganan and Gillinane. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
We must stop the blight.
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solas defeated them.
And?
You stood against it. People will die. That's like...
Stopping the blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solas even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
You can't want Elganan and Gillinane to rule the world. Not after what they did to you.
I ruled alongside them for centuries. I bear them no love now, and they were ever flawed, as all rulers are. Yet the world needs rulers. So set the blight aside and tell me why I should help you topple them.
I read there's supposed to be another option if we completed Balara's quest. I think they said they wronged you, yeah.
What they did to you was wrong.
And you care so deeply for the injustice done to me thousands of years ago.
You deserve justice. And they deserve to be punished for misusing their power and killing you when you tried to check them.
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that.
Mm-hmm. We are where we are.
I am worthy of your help.
That is for me to judge.
I am fighting to protect this world.
Any petty tyrant can fight those who come to their land and claim to be protecting their people. I have seen rulers, human as you are, the mages of Tevinter, following in the Elven Empire's footsteps. They build nothing that does not serve them. Why should I believe you are any better? What is a protector to you?
Building a safe place.
It's making a place that's safe for everyone. That means defending against danger. But it also means building a strong community that works together for the common good.
And what have you built?
Look at my team. We're not just hired blades. We started as strangers and grew together into a family.
Your arguments are compelling. I find you worthy, Rook. I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you.
I offer one further boon. I cannot enter the physical world or the pure Fade, but in this place, I still carry some power. Evil has intruded here. The Blight, seeded by Elganon and Gillenane. Find it, and when you meet your greatest challenge, I will fly one last time.
The essence of a god.
Mythal and us.
Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
I don't want to ruin the moment, but what do we do with it?
The god knows her moment. At least her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready.
Ooh, little mind, open hearts. Alright, and I got a sword, which I didn't get previously because I didn't manage to achieve this.
We did it. We got Mythal's essence.
And we didn't even have to fight her.
Not sure what we do with it just yet, but if Morrigan's telling the truth, it'll come in handy at some point.
The Fallen Protector. Paragon to rest. 55%. If I go down, is there going to be a battle? Let's just save. We are almost done. I think I will not do the champion this episode, so we can focus this episode purely on the Solas memories. I remember there was some treasures here, wasn't there? It's a long way down. Okay. Mythal's grace. before we continue. Hey, wait. Physical damage is 0. This sword doesn't do physical damage. What the hell? That one is 80. Gain holds. The unique stuff, I find that the unique stuff in this game is terribly designed. I don't understand who's in charge of this. They are not appealing at all. If it did damage, I would have gladly taken that. But now there's no physical damage, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's not just the sword, or even the other stuff as well. Unique amulet, okay. He made this place so she'll be comfortable here once she joined the rebellion. Now it's too late. Okay, let's go back. I don't know whether... I don't think there should be any more encounters with Morrigan. I think that should be it, but...
Ancient power twice recalled from darkness.
Because I could just teleport back and it will kind of miss that encounter. And if it's important, they would force it to happen in the lighthouse or somewhere. Yep, okay. So we're good.
The voices again.
I'm told he is asleep, only to see our sanctums defiled. Even Arlathan is trampled by cast-offs and mortals. We must secure the Alluvians.
This reason.
We shall. The Ontom are uneasy in the crossroads, but they know their duty.
If they fail, give the best preserve to me for improvement.
Dead on top. We're already on it.
Okay, so let's see. So we got 2 people to talk to for quest, but I think I can do it next round. Or should I just wrap it up with them now? Let's just talk to them. So at least in the next video we can hit wherever we need to.
I can't believe you're asking for a favor as though nothing's happened.
What crapped in your bed?
Sorry, didn't know you two were in the middle
Rook!
of...
Excellent. Come in. We could use a second sober voice.
I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
It's a figure of speech.
I was wondering when this had happened.
I don't follow.
You two didn't seem to be bonding.
I need one of these little needle things to dig some crap out of my armor. Death Mage won't give me one.
First, a bone threader is an extremely delicate instrument. Second, it's Emmerich. Tash, my name is Emmerich, not death mage, not corpse guy, not... I won't repeat the rest.
What? You are a death mage.
Why are all my attempts to converse with you met with scorn? What have I done to you, Tash?
You talk about corpses too much.
It's a rich topic.
No, corpses are messed up. They used to have people in them. You make them move like they're alive, but they smell wrong and they move wrong, and none of it is okay.
Oh.
Especially the ones with skin still on them.
I figured you two would butt heads at some point.
Rook, you needn't keep acting as though you're above the fray.
You should have said something earlier.
I don't... You two can't gang up on me. You dragged me into this.
Too late. You're here now.
I'd no idea necromancy upset you so deeply, Tosh. Quite honestly, I didn't think you feared anything.
I don't. But I could have said it was bugging me. I didn't think you cared what I thought.
Of course I do. We're colleagues on this journey.
Okay. Sorry I called you a liker. Skull liker.
You two could still learn things together you'd never find out alone. Emmerich, you clearly find talking about dragons boring.
What? How? Who doesn't like dragons?
Aren't you curious why Tash likes them as much as you like necromancy?
The question crossed my mind.
And maybe Emmerich could help demystify magic, Tash.
Maybe he could share a little, so I know how to deal with walking corpses next time I'm in an old ruin.
I'd be happy to.
Thought you might be.
I was a bit surprised when I got 2 disapproves. That was the first time I chose that, I guess. Okay, so next one is hardening, and then we can wrap up this video. Yep. Shit. Overshot. Okay, where is it? Base.
Meet me in Ravane? I've got sparring practice with the lords and I could use the sea air. So could you.
You know, that sounds quite nice.
All right then. I'll see you soon.
Okay, let's review again. All good, all good. Alright. And then, quest-wise... Cauldron. Dead, Hardling. Okay, that will be going to Ravane. 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 I could go for this. Maybe I'll do this because I know this might take a while. Okay, maybe next episode I will probably focus on Emmerich because I know this is in a different area and I know it will take a while. Maybe not a full hour, but close enough. And I think we can make that a shorter video because I think the previous few has been an hour or slightly above an hour. Okay, let's just review skills. I'm 37, okay. That's nice. That's good. What is this? boring. Grants quicken. What does quicken do? I also don't know. Strike ability is pointless. From weapon attacks, this value doubles the size of something. Oh, this is good. This is good. I can either go here. Critical damage. I may need to readjust this once I hit 40 because I'll probably want to complete this path. What is rally party? Companion deal increased damage. Okay. Okay, alright. Okay, this is good. That's bonus shield attack damage. Yeah, okay, so that's 4 levels. So once I hit 40, I'll need to take away 3 skills level. Just look, one perfect defense, nearby enemies are pulled. Okay, I like this because it just pulls towards me, but at least it still got physical damage and stagger. I don't understand why this sword has 0 physical damage. Mythal Light. And the worst part is it's not upgradable. What's the sword that I use? Let's try this. We'll try this in the next video and see how it goes. Okay. Helmet. Okay, so the sword. I was using this. This one is plus 10% weapon damage. But if I have nothing, then would that make sense? Okay, anyway. Alright, we'll wrap it out now. So we got a very good lore dump for this episode. Right from the history of Thedas, in terms of the elves, the titans, the blight. So, and I think the key thing that what I believe is that the Golden Throne is actually the prison for the blight. And when the Magisters came in, they released it. The Chantry cited it as a punishment, a divine punishment, but actually it's just basically unlocking the prison for the blight to escape. And they escape, and that's why we have altogether 5 blights. So that means out of the 7 imprisoned god, 5 of them have seeped out, revived as a dragon or a dead dragon, and became the what is that called? The archdemon. And that's why we are only seeing Elganan and Ghislaine, because these are the last 2, because there's a total of 7 that was imprisoned. 5 has been defeated in the previous blights, so only left with 2. So in short, if you look at this, it's a bit dumb for Solas to have done this now. He could have just waited. Well, I don't know, because if you look at it, the history of the blight, the first blight lasted a long time, but the last blight lasted maybe a year or 2. The fifth blight. So because the world, the Thedas was more equipped to handle blights, Solas could have just waited it out, because once 2 more blights occur, there shouldn't be any more archdemon anyway, right? In theory, that's what's happening, correct? Well, anyway, yeah, that's it anyway. Okay, sorry for ranting. Alright, we'll cut off here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.